was just what I needed. It's been way too long since we rode together.
Yes, boss. Nothing beats a nice jaunt on wolfback.
You and I used to go riding practically every night. What happened to those days?
War happened. The world has changed, unfortunately.
Isn't that the truth? And you know, you've mellowed out a lot since those days.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, come on! Remember how we met? You had a bunch of bandits tied to trees and were about to feed them to the wolves.
That was merely to intimidate them. I wasn't actually going to...
And don't get me started on the way you used to talk. You'd say things like, "Feeling hungry, punks? I got a fresh serving of knuckles for you right here."
Why, I beg you to cease this coarse impression.
Don't worry, Panette. I love the old you. But I love the new you, too.
The feeling is mutual, boss. Your relentless teasing aside. Boss, when you said I had changed, you were right. I have. But for that, I have you to blame.
Me?
Yes. When we met, I was wild as they come. My home life was rocky, to say the least, and that left me filled with anger. So each day, I would go into town and pick fights with anyone who got on my nerves. Looking back on that time now, I see how pointless it was. Yet that was the only way I knew to cope. Until I met you. Though at first, of course, I assumed you were as wild as I was.
We hit it off right away, huh? Taking out goons by day, riding our wolves by night.
Yes, we were thick as thieves. Little by little, you helped point my rage in a more useful direction.
At men who cut you in line.
That only happened once. I was talking about all the bandits and thieves we fought. You taught me to take all my pent-up, directionless anger and use it for good.
Well, I'm glad. Though, to be honest, that wasn't really intentional.
Yes, I figured as much. Even so, if I had never met you, that rage might have swallowed me whole and spit out a lonely, resentful husk. I could have wasted my life feeling bitter about the hand I was dealt.
Panette, you said that without me, you would have spent your whole life lonely and resentful. But I don't think that's true.
What makes you say that, boss?
Well, you were wild, sure. But your kindness always shone through. Even when we fought the worst of the worst, you didn't try to hurt them. Just stop them. And after our long late-night rides, you took time to feed the wolves, brush their fur. The truth is, I didn't swoop in and put you on the right path. You were already there.
Do you really think that?
Of course. I knew you were a good person. That's why I asked you to become my retainer.
Huh, I remember that day. How surprised I was. I never suspected you were the princess.
You weren't convinced by the princess-like way I begged you? Pretty please, be my retainer!
It just seemed absurd that a royal would want anything to do with a wild girl like me.
Well, I'm glad you agreed in the end. Thanks again for that, Panette.
Boss, please. It is I who should be thanking you.
Oh, come on. You think I don't know how hard you've worked? I know you were worried about embarrassing me or being rude to my family. The rules of royal life are complicated and arbitrary sometimes, if we're being honest. But you took time to study the proper speech and conduct of a retainer.
It was the least I could do to repay your generosity.
Panette, I want you to know something. I will become a queen worthy of your efforts. A queen you can feel proud to serve.
I have no doubt. And for my part, I shall continue to serve you with the utmost zeal.